It is SNL. And you know what that means. It's Formula X, season number 10, round number 1.
It is SNL.
And we are here where it all began 4 years ago for SNL. Lego Majari. Lots of new things to get through for this season 10. It is an epic 12-round season, just like that season 4 years ago. We have got 16 drivers in 8 teams. We have returning champions. We have a new driver as well on the grid. We have drivers returning to the series as well. We have got it all here in Formula X. The biggest change this season, no refueling. And drivers have to use all 3 tyres they select for the race, so long as it stays dry, which at Lego, it definitely will. Without further ado, though, let's have a look at the grid after the one-shot qualifying and getting pole position in Italy for the Scuderia. It's the Season 8 champion Gasman. He stole it by 0.013 seconds. He was on the soft tyres, and he has soft, and hard for this race. In second place on the grid, returning to McLaren, a team he won the championship with, is Bunnies. He was on softs in qualifying, and he has got soft, medium, and hards for this race. As I say, all 3 tyres must be used in this race. In third place, he had an impressive debut season in Formula X. It is Ben. He finished on the podium in the last Formula X race. He qualified in third for Benetton. Soft, mediums for him in this race. In fourth place is the defending champion, now driving for Renault. It's Ajax. The Canadian was on softs for qualifying, and he has soft, medium, and hards for this race. In fifth place, making his debut in SNL, it is Christo. The German qualified on soft tyres, and he has got soft mediums for this race. In sixth place, driving for Team Lotus in the Essex Steel livery, very much like the Toro Rosso from a few seasons ago on these modern cars, is Bondimus Prime. He qualified on soft tyres. He has soft, medium, and hards. And he just pipped his teammate, who had an impressive debut season last time out in Season 9, Morcherry. He qualified also on soft tyres, and like his teammate, has soft, mediums, and hards for this race. In 8th place, returning to the series, is Rob on drums, driving for Benetton, teammate to Ben. He qualified on soft tyres, and like his teammate, has soft mediums as well. Qualifying in 9th place, driving for the Scuderia, it is the Punisher. He qualified on the soft tyres. He has soft, and hards, just like his teammate for this race. Quite a few teammates going the same. In 11th place, a very impressive debut season in season number 9. Yax, or Yafax, as he should be called. Yafax qualified in 11th place, hard tyres as well, driving for Alfa Romeo, a new name in Formula X for this season. His teammate, Kaiser Grimm, unable to make the race last night. In 11th place, driving for Jordan, the yellow Hornets are back, and it's Slender Fella who qualified on medium tyres. He has soft, and mediums. Yafax has soft, hard, and hards for this race. In 12th place, joining his Hornet teammate on the 6th row, is SNL Jam. He qualified on the hard tyres and has soft, and mediums for the race, just like his teammate. In 13th is Mr. Smith in the Renault. He qualified on softs, and he has got soft, medium, and hards for his race. in 14th place in the Red Bull, the Star Wars powered by the dark side, 2005 Monaco Grand Prix special. It is the returning Bailey, and he's in for the whole season. Bailey in the chat actually saying good morning, legends. Good morning, Bailey. He qualified 14th. That's because he didn't set a lap, but looked very quick in qualifying after a small error. And he is joined in 15th place by Aloe. Don't be fooled by the blue helmet. That is the pink-clad driver we normally see. He is in 15th place. He didn't set a lap in qualifying. A few connection problems for him in this Red Bull. And as I say, unfortunately, Kaiser Grim not on the grid for this evening's race. So there is everybody. No refueling this race. All 3 tyres have to be used. There is something called a pit stop window. It opens at the end of lap number 3 and closes at the end of lap 28. So drivers must do their 2 pit stops within that time. There is no limit to the amount of time you spend on a tyre so long as you change onto it. So, what's this going to do for the racing? There's only one way to find out. That's by starting the race. Are you ready for round number 1 of Season 10? This epic 12-round season. Like, share and subscribe for the rest of this season as well. We're going to start with the 5 red lights on the gantry here at Lego Majaro for round number 1 of Season number 10. Gasman on pole in the Ferrari, with Bunnies alongside in the McLaren, and it is go here in Italy. Bunnies having a very strong start as they go into turn 1. Bunnies on the inside of the Ferrari, and he takes the lead. Gasman second, Ajax up into third, Ben fourth, Bondimus is in 5th, Christo is 6th, 7th, Punisher. They've all got through pretty cleanly, it looks, as Yafax gets 12th. He gets bumped a little bit by Bailey. A good start for Bailey. Morcherry is in 11th. And Mr. Smith has had a bit of an issue going into turn 1. What happened to him? Oh, a bit of lag spike it looked like. Let's just go on board with the Renault. So turn number 1, starting in 13th place on the overtake. Everybody getting through pretty cleanly. Up ahead, what happens? Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of lag spike, I think, from one of the Jordans. I think it was in front of Morcherry. Let's have a look on board with the Essex Steel Team Lotus car. Not a great start from Morcherry on the medium tyres. We'll have to go through tyres in a moment as we go up. Yep, oh, and that's the bumps of lag spike. But at the front of the field, it is Bunnies ahead of Gasman, with Ajax closely following. So they're all fighting very closely as we see Bondimus having a real scrap with the Punisher as they go down the hill through turn number 5 and 6 side by side. Bondimus with Christo. He makes the move, in fact. Christo on the soft tyres, being a bit cautious possibly, as in the background Slenderfella bouncing around all over the place right now as Rob on drums goes up the hill and is trying to pass the Jordan into the S's. Lonely Skittles in the chat saying, Mark, good morning, lads. Lonely Skittles, I don't know who you are. You'll have to tell me who you are in the chat. But Bunnies leading from Gasman and Ajax. Ajax putting the pressure on. Ajax on the soft tyres. We'll go through the tyres in a moment, but he is putting the pressure on the Ferrari as they approach turn number 14 towards the end of the lap. Anybody else having a bit of a fight? Ooh, Jam looks like he's lost a lot of spaces. What happened here? So Jam in 11th place. They go up the hill. All very closely packed. Oh, and looks possibly like Slenderfellas has caused a little bit of lag spiking. Again, Christo in 7th place, Punisher 6th. As they all cross the line now, Bunnies leading the field. Gasman keeping the pressure on though. So, Softs, softs for the top three right now in the race. Ben is on the medium tyres in his Benetton, so he has two sets of softs. Bondimus is on mediums too. The Punisher is also on soft tyres. Christo is on softs. Morcherry on mediums. Slenderfellow on mediums, as he's under attack from Bailey, on board with the Red Bull driver, going up the hill. Medium tyres on his car as we go round the outside, keeping the pressure on through the very fast corners. Slenderfella, it is a bouncy time for him. Bailey unable to make the move, but going down the hill. What can he do? He gets the good exit though, and on a little bit of the overtake. Bailey moves up into 9th place. That will make his friend, his lover, very happy in the chat. Slenderfella dropping down to 10th then. Hard tyres for Yafax, with Rob on drums in 12th place. Thank you very much. Lonely Skittles, he has subscribed, of course. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Lots of great action here as we see medium tyres for Aloe, as Jam also has mediums. He's fallen back, and Mr. Smith is setting times. He's on the softs, but at the front it's Bunnies. Set the fastest lap, but he has the pressure of the Ferrari. The Season 8 champion chasing down the Season 6 and Season 7 champion. In fact, we've got the most recent champions all at the front of the field. Bunnies, Gasman and Ajax are all racing hard here in Italy. Bunnies holding position, sparks flying, not only in the comments live, but also on track. Ajax running a bit wide. They've pulled a gap, though, as Bondibus has run wide. Bondibus has hit quite hard, I think. Bondibus has a Nigel Mansell helmet going through the S's. He's got the Punisher behind him. Going through, flat out, dropping down to 4th. He's a bit wide, and that is where the hit happens. And the Punisher unfortunately had nowhere else to go in his Ferrari, causing damage to himself. Christo then in the McLaren, having a very eventful start to this race here in SNL. What can he do? Looking at Bondimus going down into turn 14, a little bit too far back as it stands. Now the pit stop window opens now. The end of this lap, the drivers can go into the pits and make a move. Yax racing with Slenderfellow. He manages to get past the Jordan driver as Rob on drums too gets past going into turn 16. The Slenderfellow dropping down to 12th place. Aloe keeping the pressure down on as Jam in 14th, and Mr. Smith, and the Bunnies running wide. So the drivers at the front of the field, side by side. Gasman taking the lead into turn 1, slightly has the inside line with Bunnies. Bunnies, though, ahead on the timing screen, going through turn 3 and 4. Bunnies then running wide because of the tighter line and drops down. So Bunnies losing the lead. Gasman on the overtake, trying to pull away from the McLaren, but the McLaren tucked up right behind the Ferrari as they go down the hill to turn number 6. Into the hairpin. Good exit from Gasman, good exit from Bunnies. They all hold station. Bunny's actually getting a good drive up the hill. He could have a move going through the S's at the back of the circuit. Bunnies is ahead according to the timing screen, but nice bit of driving from these three. Whoa, we'll go on board with Ajax, watching the squabble for first as Bunnies runs wide. So does Gasman. That means Ajax can have a run down into turn 13, but he runs too wide. Ben currently in 4th place. A little bit of a gap between the drivers ahead. Maybe 4 seconds, 3 seconds, as Gasman is all over the back of Bunnies, keeping the pressure on the Canadian. Bunnies running wide through turn 16, cannot get the car stopped. In fact, he's got a lot of wear on that front right tyre. Does he pit? No, he doesn't. Gasman on the power once more, on the overtake. The Ferrari driver takes the lead, going into turn number 1. This is where we had the fight last time out. Bunnies holding second place, challenging up the inside. Really pushing the Ferrari ahead of him. Let's go and look. There's battles all over the field. As Christo, Bondamus, Morcherry and Bailey are all together. Then we have Yax, Rob on drums, Aloe, Slenderfella and Jam all fighting hard. Jam getting past his teammate. It looks like getting a move done. Going down the hill. They go. Back to the front though, because Bunnies has taken the lead again. Bunnies has taken the lead coming out of the hairpin. There's so much action happening here. What does Bunnies do? That right front tyre, you can see the pickup on it as it goes. And he's just got the drive up the hill. Gaz in the chat saying those laps with Bunnies were intense. Bunnies fighting hard. Gasman keeping him close. They have slowed each other down. They're not in the 35s any longer, these three. As Ben still has the Punisher for company. Back at the front, because Gasman makes a move into turn 13. These two are fighting hard. There are battles all over the circuit. We're keeping with the race lead, obviously. For this time, as Gasman holds position, lap number 5, and he goes into the pits. So Bunnies does not pit, Ajax does. So this is what we're going to see this season a lot of. Morcherry up into 6th place now with Bailey and Bondamus. Bondamus might have a move into turn 1. Bondamus in the Lotus trying to follow his teammate up the inside of Bailey, but Bailey says no, you are not getting up the inside of turn 1. It is a hard place to overtake. Gasman in 8th then, Yacht in 9th, as we then have Rob on drums, Jam. Ajax is off the circuit, so Ajax has come out the pits, onto the hard tyres, and goes into and hits with a Loey. And Ajax slows down, in fact moves onto the grass to get out of the way of everyone. Slenderfella then in 14th. So Ajax losing a lot of time. In fact, I think he let by too many people through that section. As we see Rob on drums, he's got the attention of one of the Jordans. Going through the hairpin. Jam up the hill. Looks like he's going to get it done. On the Benetton, climbing the hill there. Goes the Jordan. In the background, Slenderfella has got the attention of Ajax. Ajax on board. 2 yellow cars fighting position. Slenderfella has not stopped. Ajax has. The first stops of this season have happened. And the big winner is Gasman. He has kept ahead of a group of cars, including the hard shod Alfa Romeo of Yafax. So Yafax is up there. What does Bunnies do in comparison with his rival? So he pits at the end of lap 6. His front tyre is completely worn out. Ben keeps going. The Punisher is in the pits. So this is the plan. Bailey will move up the field. Morcherry up into 2nd place in the Lotus. This season, as I say, it's all to play for. Medium tyres for Bondamus. Christo in 5th place. His soft tyres looking pretty good. It's the hards now for Gasman. So the hards on Gasman. Yafax is in 7th. He's got Bunnies behind him. Bunnies and Jam fighting it out. Bunnies then obviously coming out of the pits just in this gaggle of cars. Yes, he does. He comes out on the medium tyres. And he's got Jam just behind him on board with the Jordan. through turn 3 and 4. Bunnies runs wide. Jam tries to get past, but cannot get past the McLaren. Lonely Skittles saying goodbye. Well, come and catch up with the rest of the race. Lonely Skittles says he loves Mark, which is Bailey. And if Bailey will return the love. Bunnies climb the hill. Yafax in 7th. He's on hards. He will go a long way, I suspect, on the hard tyres. He's got hards and soft to run as well. It is a compromise, though, for all the drivers. At the front of the field is Ben on the medium tyres. He might go a long way as well. His medium's looking pretty good on the top two. Bailey a little bit more worn on the right front. Bondimus has hit something possibly on the exit. As Bunnies has got past Yax. He's got past through the S's, it looks like. The exit of the S's gets a nice little drive. Yafax then runs out wide. So Yafax in 8th place. He's got the attention of Jam behind him. So the two drivers approaching turn number 14. Jam looking up the inside alongside with Yafax, and Jam goes up into 2nd place. Yafax down to 9th. A bit of a tough time for Yafax on the hards. Rob on drums on mediums. Aloe there in 11th. On board with this blue helmet. Very, very different. The pink helmet is the one we normally see from Aloe. He's obviously turned to the dark side in that. Red Bull, Ajax in 12th place after his stop. The Punisher putting pressure on the Renault. After his stop, hard tyres for the Punisher. So he's going the same route as his teammates. Lenderfella on the mediums, and Mr. Smith not enjoying the circuit right now, but he has stopped as well. So he's on the hards. Ben leads in the Benetton, but he's got more Cherry behind him. A 37.5 and a 36.5. So more Cherry looks like he went into first. Gaz saying it looks like an R2-DT style helmet for Aloe. Possibly. We'll have a look, see if that's the case. As we see the top two now closing up. More Cherry closing very quickly to Ben. These two drivers starred in season number 9, their first season in Formula X, their first season in SNL. Bailey is in 3rd place. He's got Bondimus on the overtake. Bondimus going for a move into turn 14. He's already got it done. Into turn 14, the shine of that Essex Lotus glares on the camera. Bunnies in 5th place. Gazman up into 6th place. I think he's just made a move on Christo. Yes, he does. So the counter Monte Cristo getting overtaken by Gazman. Gazman is there up into 6th place. Christo's 7th. Jam trying to follow the Ferrari, and he does. So Christo down into 8th. Those soft tyres looking very worn at the end of lap number 8. And he's struggling to get it turned in. Look, the understeer is apparent in that McLaren. So these soft tyres only able to do 8 laps, it would appear. Yax in 9th place now, up into 8th with Aloe 9th. 10th is Rob on drums. Christo in the pits, then Ajax 12th as he becomes 11th now. Back at the front of the field though, Ben still leads from Morcherry on lap number 9. These drivers haven't stopped as of yet. Running the medium tyres. Remember, drivers have to use all 3 sets of tyres between lap 3, the end of lap 3 and the end of lap 28. So all tyres must be used. Morcherry setting very fast time. He's 2 tenths up on his best, which if he carries on at this rate will set him close to the fastest lap, which is currently with Bunnies, the McLaren driver. Set the fastest lap early on whilst he led the race. He's currently 4th in this race, but he has made a pit stop, 4 tyres, and he looks like he's on the back of Bailey. Bailey's medium tyres more worn than Bunnies. Bunnies does. He goes to the outside. In fact, before they approach turn number 14, Bailey has the inside, but Bunnies going round the outside. Bailey's right front, as you can see, more worn than the McLaren driver. to the McLaren in that Fernando Alonso 2018 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix farewell livery, only for Alonso to return a couple of years later. So Bunny's in third place. You can see actually Bunny's crossing the line. He's only about 6 seconds behind the race leader after his stop. So this is the way the races will go this season. It is unpredictable. Bondemus has gone off the circuit. What happened to Bondemus? He's on the medium tyres. He's very close to Bailey. And just runs wide, touches the grass. And that was enough to bring him on the outside. So does that mean Jam gets past him? He returns onto the circuit. And Jam is in fifth. Jam, in fact, has got Yafax. Oh, Yafax got overtaken, I think, by Rob on drums. Let's go on board with Rob on drums here. Oh, there is Goku on the halo. Hello, Goku. See, Yafax trying to overtake a Lowy, as then Rob takes both of them on the exit. Nicely done by Rob on drums. Medium tyres are worn. These drivers still haven't set their first pit stop. The Punisher on the hards. Christo, he has got Slenderfella just behind him. Christo is now on the mediums, so he's got set softs to run at some point in the races. Up at the front, Morcherry has got past, it would appear, coming out of the hairpin. He takes the inside line. He gets the better drive. He's on the overtake. They're both on the overtake going up the hill. But Morcherry holds that position going into the S's at the back of the circuit. And he's up into first place. Nicely done by Morcherry in the Lotus. So we have a new race leader, Ben, in second place. Keeping the pressure on, though. The Benetton driver saying, no, I don't think you're going to have all of this your own way. We're both on the same tyres. Ben pushing hard. Gerhard Berger helmet in this Benetton. Of course, Gerhard Berger winning in this car. First win for Benetton and BMW power. Bunnies in third place. Bailey in fourth. Jam now up into fifth. Jam getting past Gazman, it would appear. It's happened already. So Jam up into fifth place now, with Gazman in sixth, on board with the Ferrari driver. Does he have a move on him in turn 13? In turn 14, no. It's not happening. So the Hornet. Jordan ahead of the brand new 2025 Ferrari. 25 years between these two liveries. 2000 Jordan and 2025 Ferrari. Bondemus is in the 1981 Lotus. So a huge mix of years here, from new to old, throughout the field. Morcherry, though, leads the race on the medium tyres. He hasn't made a stop yet. Neither has Ben. Bunnies has, though. He's on the mediums, and his tyres are looking a lot fresher than those he was fighting with. Yafax has got ahead of Rob on drums. Rob on drums must have made a mistake, as he was racing. No, it's Bondemus. Bondemus has gone off. So what happened to Bondemus? Oh no, he's run wide, and it's just brought him to the other side of the track. That is the worst place for him to go off. Oh, Bondemus losing a lot of places. Lost 3 places in that incident. The Punisher in 11th then has Christo behind him, the McLaren driver, on board. He uses the curb and a little bit more. He has a cheeky little look at the Punisher, pushing hard. Will he punish him going up the hill? It looks like he will. He's on the overtake. No overtake for the Punisher, and he's ahead, going up into 11th place, the McLaren driver on lap 11. So climbing back up the field after his pit stop. Let's go back to the front. Oh! As we've got Jam and Gazman having a real fight. So here's Jam. He's got the Ferrari behind him now, so the hards of Gazman and the slightly worn mediums. Gazman going up the inside, the Ferrari diving up turn 14. They're still side by side. Jam holding the position though. Through turn 14, in 15. Penultimate corner, turn 16. Jam on the inside. Gazman following him closely. Some great fighting happening. Bailey pulling away then as these two fight with each other. I'll say that, 37.5 for Jam and a 38.4, so in fact they're pulling Bailey in. 36.3 for Bunnies, and he's catching up the race leaders. Whoa, look at that gap between them. He's on the 36s. What is Morcherry doing? He's a 37.2, 37.6. So Bunnies just consistently about a second quicker, and he's closed that gap. We saw at one point it was 8 seconds. It is now closed up to nothing. Ben climbing the hill, feeling the pressure from the McLaren. Now the McLaren driver has made a pit stop, but we don't know the strategies of the other drivers. They don't have to pit for fuel this season. As you can see that by the fuel gauge, it's pretty full. Only 3/4 of the tank used. So there's no danger of running out of fuel this season. We saw a lot of drivers last season running out of fuel and deciding positions and race results, but this season not going to happen as Ben runs wide through turn 14 and gifts it to Bunnies. Bunnies' pressure was enough to make Ben make the mistake. Ben then into third. Will he stop this lap? Those tyres looking a bit worn. He's losing time. He keeps going. Gazman is up into 5th place then. Here we go. So Jam had a go at Bailey, and all of a sudden Gazman then up into 5th, goes up into 4th. An opportunistic move by the Ferrari driver. Brilliantly done by the former champion. Bailey is in 5th place, struggling to get the car turned as they go through turn 16. Jam and Bailey, what is happening? Jam running wide as they both go into the pits. So 2 medium-clad runners in the pits. Yafax in 7th, Rob on drums. What is happening here? So Yafax goes into the pits. Rob on drums stays ahead with Ajax following him. So Ajax on the hard tyres. Rob on drums is there. So Jam now and Bailey, softs and mediums for those two. So soft and medium for those two. So Bailey still has softs left. He's all over the back of Jam. Gulf livery helmet for Bailey in the Star Wars Red Bull. Christo up into 7th now with the shuffle. Ajax has got Rob on drums in his sights. We've seen this move before, and unfortunately it's been a few times on Rob on drums. So they climb the hill. The Benetton driver holds position as he's on the overtake. His medium tyres looking very worn though. He's got the Renault all over the back of him. Through the S's they go, fighting hard. Oh, Ajax I think got a bit of a slide on. Lost time in comparison with his rival at the front of the field though. Morcherry leads just ahead of Bunnies. Bunnies has fought himself back up as Ajax has got 5th place off Rob on drums. Rob on drums running wide out to turn 13, and Ajax is up into 5th. Lonely Skittles is back, and he says, I forgot to mention excellent racing by the way. Lonely Skittles, you've missed some awesome racing, and there's more to come. As we can see, Bailey now in 9th place. He's got Jam ahead of him, and Jam looking at Christo, who's looking at Rob on drums. So all of these drivers having a huge nose-to-tail fight. Rob on drums in 6th. He's under pressure though from the German. Christo going up the inside And on the overtake into turn number 1. Nicely done by the McLaren. So Rob... Oh, but the McLaren then runs wide. And Jam goes up into 7th. So Jam up into 7th place. Fighting now with Rob on drums. Christo and Bailey fighting tooth and nail for 8th place. So Rob on drums... Oh, Rob on drums. What happened there? So Rob on drums goes through turn number 4. Runs slightly wide. Just dips a toe over. And he loses 3 places. My word. These drivers are absolutely fighting for it. Christo up the inside of Bailey. Bailey on the exit. What does he do? He's on the overtake. All of these drivers in the slipstream then of the Jordan ahead of them in 6th place. As up ahead, Bunnies has taken the lead of the race. We're currently, though, watching the battle for 6th place as these 4 drivers go through the S's. They are nose to tail in these Super Formula cars. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Christo on the inside. Bailey, though, cannot do anything on there. Bailey on the inside. Can he get up into turn 14? Bailey on the inside into turn 8. Oh, my word. Nicely done. From 7th to 8th. It's from 8th to 7th, should I say, in turn 14. Christo in 8th place. Rob on drums will be thinking, what on earth has happened these past couple of laps? Go back to the front then. Bunnies set the fastest lap on lap 13, a 35.1 in the McLaren. He's actually pulled away quite significantly from Ben. So Ben is in the 38s now. And is about 6 seconds behind. Bailey has moved up into 7th place. Rob on drums still going in 8th place. Yafax back on hard tyres after his first stop. Oh, Christo has lost time. What happened to Christo? Christo's gone off the circuit. He was in 8th place and he runs wide out turn 1 and he just hits the wall. Oh dear. So Christo having a bit of an issue. The Punisher on the hards. Bondimus coming out of the pits now onto soft tyres. So Bondimus has gone a long way on those mediums. Slenderfella also on the mediums. On lap 15 they go into the pit. Bunnies on the mediums. Pushing hard. Running a little bit wide. His tyres are not looking too shabby. Ben is up into 2nd. So Morcherry has had a bit of an issue. Can we see it? No, I don't think so. He's down 11 seconds on this lap. So he's had a bit of an issue. Possibly looping it at one point or the other. The tyre's starting to wear out. Gasman all over the back of him. The Ferrari driver. In turn 13. These drivers, Ben and Morcherry, are they going to pit at the end of lap 15? They've nearly done half the race on one set of tyres. Bunnies using the overtake, coming out of the final corner. He's lost 2 seconds to his best lap. But no, Ben keeps going. Morcherry decides to keep going as well. So Gasman in the Ferrari, his hard tyres. 36.6 for him. Compared to the 48.4, so 12 seconds nearly lost by Morcherry on that last lap. He's got the Ferrari all over the back of him. As you can see, the Lotus just struggling just to get the turn in now. The understeer really hampering him through the left-handers. The Ferrari looking racier despite those hard tyres, which in theory are slower, but as we go up the hill, will Gasman go on to the overtake? No, he doesn't. So the Ferrari driver stays in 4th. Morcherry happily... Oh, I was going to go somewhere else, but Morcherry having to defend through the S's. A lot more speed by Gasman. go down towards turn 13. We've seen a moves happening through these corners already this race, and Gasman looks like he's got him. Going into turn 14, we've seen this move plenty of times. And Gasman gets himself up into third. Thank you very much, Lonely Skittles. It's saying excellent commentary. It's like I'm watching it on television. Fantastic. Thank you very much for the comment. Please go again. You're more than welcome. Morcherry into the pits then on lap number 16. So he's gone very far, but Ben still keeps going. Let's have a look further down the field. So we've got Bailey having a fight now with Ajax. So Ajax is fighting with Bailey. Let's have a look. We'll have a look at how quick the pit stops are with Morcherry. As he comes into the pits, there is no refueling, despite the man waiting there, ready to refuel this Lotus. In it comes. The whistles go off. In he comes. Stop. Change tyres. Go. Very fast. Not as fast, obviously, as in F1, but he stays in 5th place after that pit stop. So great to see Morcherry. He's on the soft tyres now as well, so he'll have pace. He's got hards to run, though, at one point. He's got Bailey just behind him. So Bailey is up to speed on his mediums. Bailey could put the pressure on. Bailey pushing hard. With Morcherry ahead. Not quite. Thank you everyone that's watching live. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so. Come into the comments, have a chat, say hello. We're always friendly here at SNL. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already. This race so far, 17 laps in. Bunny's leading this new format, Formula X, with no fuel stops, but you have to use all 3 sets of tyres. Ben has not stopped yet. He has been on these tyres for 17 laps. And he's got Gasman chasing him down. Gasman already has used the soft, and he's on the hards. And he's been closing in. 39s for Ben. So those tyres really are second hand. He keeps going though. Ben's tyres for this race are soft, medium. So he's going very long on the medium tyres. Very, very long. Jam is in 4th place in the Jordan. So Jam on soft tyres. Trying to keep away from the former race leader, Morcherry, who's in 5th place. Bailey in 6th in that Red Bull. Having an excellent return to SNL. Ajax, the defending champion, has had better days. Yafax is in 8th place. I think Slenderfella has just said he didn't realise how bad his lag was. He would have quit if he knew. So Yafax in 8th. Christo then and Bondi. Bondimus. It's really confusing sometimes. Bondimus is in 10th. They overtake Rob on drums. Rob on drums coming out of the pits now on a fresh set of softs. So he's going a long way on the softs. Is Rob on drums. Very long way on the softs. As up ahead of him, the Punisher runs slightly wide. He's got 2 sets of softs to run, in fact. So that is Rob on drums making the stop as scheduled. So he's on soft. He's catching up with the Punisher. We might see a move between these 2 drivers. Turn 6 is flat out. They head towards the bottom of the hill. Turn 7 is the hairpin. Rob on drums all over the back of the Ferrari. He's been overtaken so many times at this point, and he's going to do the overtaking now. Up the hill towards turn number 8. The Benetton takes 11th place from the Ferrari. Nicely done. Here is Slenderfella. Ben Pitts from 3rd place comes the Benetton. So Gasman is about 12 seconds behind Bunnies into the pits. Those tyres looking very worse for wear. The Benetton driver comes out of the pits. Where does he feed? He feeds out just behind Bailey and Jam. Jam and Bailey are having a great scrap. Morcherry's got past Jam. Jam did a 37.7. More Cherry did a 35.3. So Jam's soft tyres are more worn. As you can see, this is the development of this race. As you can see, Bailey attacking the Jordan. So we've just seen Rob on drums make a move on the previous lap, on lap 18. Is Bailey going to draw inspiration from Goku and take that Star Wars Red Bull up into fourth place? Not happening. As they go through the S's, Jordan, the Red Bull and the Benetton. Different eras represented, the 80s and the early 2000s, the mid 2000s possibly you could say, with Bailey, as Bailey goes on the attack into turn number 14. Not quite. More Cherry in the chat saying good morning SNL family. Good morning More Cherry, as Bailey goes up into, no, Bailey now he goes up into fourth place. These drivers fighting so hard. Bailey in fourth, Jam in fifth, no, Jam in fourth. Oh my word, they're side by side going down the straight. Who is ahead? Ben is up into fourth place. They are so close. Jam going wider, trying to hold the position. No, Jam then in fifth, no, into sixth. Bailey holding into fifth place goes Bailey, but he runs wide. Jam then up on the inside, he overtakes Bailey. What a fight between these drivers. Ben decides, oh, I'll have that, thank you. I was in sixth place, I'm now fourth. Thank you guys. Jam then in fifth place. Bailey looking up the inside. He'll be thinking, what on earth was happening there? I should have got that position. Gazman in the chat saying excellent driving there. It really was great to see, and very intense, I suspect, in the battle. But at the front, it's Bunnies leading the race. He is 13 seconds ahead of Gazman, so he's got a nice comfortable gap. Bailey in the chat saying he enjoyed that battle. More Cherry, how many seconds behind Gazman is he? It's about 9 seconds, so these three is separated quite well. Then we've got massive scraps happening here. Jam and Bailey once more coming into turn 16. What will Bailey do? As Jam holds position. Yafax in 7th place. That is not shabby on the hards. He's just run the hard tyres all race long. He's in 7th. Christo is ahead of Rob on drums. Rob on drums on fresh softs though. Having a look at the McLaren driver. So the McLaren in 8th place. His debut race in SNL, and he's not looking too shabby at all. He's ahead of the current champion. The current champion down in 10th place, but he has made a stop for medium tyres. So he's running to the end, I suspect. Bondimus on fully worn out softs though. So the Punisher is on hards. When did Ajax pit? He must have pit on the end of lap number 19. So those mediums are completely fresh. He'll be going to the end of the race now. He's used all 3 sets of tyres. Where can he find himself by the end? Punisher is behind Bondimus. Slender fella in 13th place, not having the greatest of times of it. Neither is Mr. Smith, stuck in the 40s, whilst the race leader is doing a 37. So Bunnies leading, running a little bit wide though. He's got a good gap of about 13 seconds on Gazman. Gazman though, his gap, it's only 6 seconds to More Cherry, 37.2 and a 35.8. So More Cherry is the driver on the move as it stands. Ben is in 4th place. Bailey is now 5th. Jam in the Jordan comes into the pit, so he'll be doing one of these quick pit stops. Here he comes. In goes the Jordan. Off go the soft tyres, and a brand new set of softs go on the Jordan. He will be trying to finish the race now. on those soft tyres. He feeds out behind Yafax and ahead of Christo, who has got Rob on drums chasing him down. Christo feeling the pressure in the McLaren. His teammate leading the race, having a much easier time of it. It's Rob on drums, on board with the Benetton. Gets a good drive out of 4, down the hill, 5 and 6. Will he be able to make a move into turn 7? We've not seen a move into the hairpin today, as Christo still holds it. He keeps hold of the position, but Rob on drums up the hill. Rob on drums on the overtake now, into turn number 8, and he gets it done. A very popular place to overtake this race. Ajax in 10th place, Punisher in 11th, back at the front of the field. Bunny's just keeping going. He's got the mediums though. They're looking very worn and tired. He'll be having to go onto the hard tyres to finish the race, whilst Gasman will be putting on soft tyres to finish the race. So Gasman has run the hards a very long time. The drivers pitted on the end of lap number 6 for Bunnies, lap number 5 for Gasman. With Morcherry just a little bit behind. About 5 seconds behind, but he's catching Gasman. And Morcherry has got a set of hards to run as well towards the end. Ben on the soft tyres, he's setting fast times, 36.2 for him on the last lap. In the Benetton, 37.9 for Bailey on his mediums. He's got softs to finish the race, as has Yafax. Yafax has got Jam's attention though. After the stop, the Jordan on the soft tyres overtakes the hard-shod Alfa Romeo. These two teammates last season in Mercedes. So Jam up into 6th place, Yafax in 7th. Rob on drums has got Ajax right behind him. The defending champion having a real scrap with the Benetton. Through the turns, down turn 12. Into 13, and Ajax makes the move. I don't know why the PlayStation is hot. There is an ice pack next to it. There's a window open. Everything should be fine. It's Ajax in 8th place. Rob on drums in 9th. Christo is in 10th. Trying to get past the Benetton. The McLaren comes into the pits. And onto the soft tyres he goes. So that's his final run on the tyres. His teammate still goes. He's just lapped he's just lapped Slenderfella, should I say. So Bunnies is there. Into the pits he comes. So Gasman, will he pit at the end of this lap, or will he go on? So Bunnies is in. Quick stop for the McLaren. But Gasman takes the lead in the Ferrari. Bunnies is not far behind. That gap probably about 2 seconds, well maybe not even that, between these two drivers. Bunnies though onto the hard tyres, and that's what Gasman has been running. Gasman will move on to the softs for his last stop. Morcherry is in 3rd. They're very close to the top 3 now. Ben in 4th. Bailey is in. Will that mean that Jam gets past? Jam does get past him. Yafax also goes past as Bailey comes out, and he just... Oh no, that's Mr. Smith. I thought it was Ajax. Ajax there in 8th. So Bailey on the soft tyres to finish the race. In comes Rob on drums. Here he is. Soft tyres, back onto softs. So he's worked hard to get past Christo. He's going to have to work hard once more to get past the McLaren driver who's jumped him with his fresh set of soft tyres. Bondemus now is on the hard tyres to finish the race. Slender fella is on his last set of softs, and Mr. Smith on the mediums. At the front of the field, it's Bunnies making a move on Gasman. That turn 14 switchback, we've seen it. You set yourself up in turn 13, and then it's easy pickings. Fresher hards on Bunny's car, and he gets past the Ferrari of Gasman. So Gasman will have to stop soon. Will he decide to come in at the end of this lap? He's keeping Bunnies very close. Morcherry is there too. Morcherry on softs, trying to put the pressure on. Gasman comes into the pits. Morcherry keeps going. So Morcherry is up into 2nd place. Gasman pits. Ben is in 4th place and keeps going. Jam is a bit further back, so Gasman should be absolutely fine with that. Out comes the Ferrari. And yes, nothing. Nice clean bit of air for the Ferrari driver. Jam in 5th place with Yafax coming in 6th place. So Bailey now passing the Alfa Romeo driver. Will Ajax get past? Having a bit of a fight. You can see the red light above Ajax's head. That means he's got less than 25% of his overtake left, whilst Yafax has a green light. That means he has 25% or more than for his overtake. The Punisher and Rob on drums fighting each other across the line side by side. The Punisher trying to get the move done, but Rob on drums keeps the inside line and holds that Benetton into position. 10th place for him, fighting hard with the Punisher. Lots of fights all over the circuit. At the front, Bunnies, he's got the attention of Morcherry. Morcherry is catching him up. Those hard tyres maybe not as fast as worn softs. Gasman is in 3rd place. He's got ahead of Ben. Ben has had an issue. Those soft tyres possibly wearing out too much. Jam catching him up on his fresh shot softs. Bailey going very quick, half a second quicker than he has been before. He's on board with the Lotus, currently in 2nd place on lap 27. Remember, end of lap 28, he has to make a pit stop. He hasn't done so already. As Ben pits now, so Ben is in the Benetton. So he drops down. Where does he feed out? Ajax. He's got traffic ahead of him. It's his teammate. Ben pulls out. Nice gap between him and the Renault. Yafax quite close on soft tyres now as well, so expect some fast laps from Yafax. Gasman is going fast and rapid on his new set of softs. He is chasing down fast. It's about 12 seconds behind Morcherry, and he's about 14 seconds between Bunnies, so the gap really staying stable. We saw it about 12 seconds, 13, 14 seconds prior to the pit stops. So the gap is what it was. Bunnies on the hard tyres though. Morcherry, does he pit this lap? No, he does not, so he must be going as long as he can for his final stop on lap 28. Gasman though, using that Ferrari, using the overtake, and he does, wow, a 34.2. That's about a second quicker than we saw Bunny's lap before. Jam in 4th place, currently on his own, really. Bailey is behind him. The gap between the two, about 4 seconds. So Bailey in 5th. Ben, oh, here we go. Ajax then. Feeling the pressure from Yafax, on board with the Alfa Romeo. But not having anything yet. 1979 Alfa Romeo livery. Facing the 2019 Renault of Ajax. Ajax on the inside. Here we go then. We hadn't seen a move into the hairpin, and we still haven't. Yafax unable to make it. He tries to get up the hill. He's still ahead according to the timing screen, and he is ahead through turn 8. But we'll go on board with Ajax through the S's. We've only got 4 laps to go. 3 laps to go really now, as Bunnies will be on his 3rd lap. Go to Morcherry. Into the pits he comes. Quick stop. Out he comes. And he's got quite a gap to Jam. Jam coming out the final corner. So Morcherry safely in 3rd place, it would seem. It's the gap between Gazman and Bunnies. Bunnies. 10 seconds, so the gap is closing. Gazman is setting quick times, a 34.8 and a 35.7. 35.7 on hard tyres, though, by Bunnies. That is fast, that is rapid. Morcherry in 3rd place, then Jam in 4th, Bailey in 5th place. His big fan saying that he reckons Bailey will win this. Well, he's currently in 5th. Got 3 laps to go. Ben is in 6th place, trying to catch up with the Red Bull as we see Yafax fighting with Ajax. Was that a move into the hairpin? So Yafax and Ajax had fights last season. And Ajax gets up ahead of Yafax. A great move by the Renault. So Yafax on the soft tyres. He's on the faster tyre. But Ajax has been on those mediums a lot longer. He's comfortable with them. He knows what to do with them. He's holding the position. But Yafax gets great drive. Will he get the move done into turn 13? Not many people have done moves into here today. Not quite, but they'll go into turn 14. Yafax up the inside. Plenty of moves done into this corner, and Yafax joins that number. 7th place for Yafax. Ajax now 8th. But Ajax going up into turn 16. Will he make the move? He holds the position. Brilliant. Fighting between these two. Yafax then holds the inside line. They are going side by side down the home straight. Yafax and Ajax side by side. Yafax on the inside. And he manages to hold the position. Ajax is not letting him have it, though. This is why he's the defending champion. He will not let you go. You may think you've got past him, but he's going to get past you once more. We see on the last lap, Ajax having a move into the hairpin. Does he do it again? He has a move, and he does it on Yafax. What a move by Ajax. What a fight for 7th place between these two drivers that have the capability of winning races. Bunnies currently leads, and he's going into his last lap. Fantastic racing. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so. More action like this next week. We're at Interlagos for this 12-round championship. Interlagos next, Circuit de la Sarf, Dragon Trail, Red Bull Ring, and then Fuji, and then a little break for Easter. Oh, Bailey is fighting with Ben. So Bailey and Ben. In fact, did Ben get past Bailey? Not sure. Possibly. Ben's tyres are fresher than Bailey's. It would appear he did get past Bailey on this lap. So Ben, 5th place now in the peloton into his final lap. Bailey is in 6th. Ajax, he's got Yafax just behind. Oh, those soft tyres starting to wear out now on Yafax. He's got half a tank of overtake, so he'll just be on it, I would expect, for this last lap. Rob on drums. Christo and Bondemus having a fight as well for 10th place. But let's go to the front of the field where we can see Bunnies coming through turn 13 for the final time. He's got Slenderfella just ahead of him in the Jordan. He just pulls to the left and lets the race leader past. Bunnies. It looks like the gap is about 8 seconds, so it did close down. Gasman was able to reduce the gap, but Bunnies, he takes the first win of the season here in season number 10. Round 1 at Lego Maggiaro goes to McLaren, and it goes to Bunnies. The season 6 and 7 champion stakes his claim with a win here in Italy. Gasman will keep the Scuderia happy with a 2nd place. A strong result for him. And it's Morcherry in the Lotus, starting the season with a podium. The Essex Steel Lotus finishes in 3rd place. He was getting closed up by Jam in the end. Jam finishes in 4th place. Ben in 5th, happy with that result. Bailey in 6th, his best result in SNL. Ajax in 7th. An epic fight between him and Yafax at the end of this race. Not what he would have wanted his championship defence to be, but a long way to go. Yafax in 8th, a good result considering he used 2 sets of hards in this race. Rob on drums is going to finish in 9th place in the peloton. So the top 8 teams, top 8 places, 8 different teams. Rob on drums finishes ahead of Christo, who's had a brilliant debut. Bondemus pushed him hard. And in 12th place is the Punisher in the Ferrari. Incredibly tight racing throughout the field. Slenderfella in 13th place. 14th place was Mr. Smith. Unfortunately, we lost Aloe during the race, which I didn't mention during the broadcast. He had a disconnect, but it is the McLaren of Bunnies who finishes in 1st place. 2nd place was the Ferrari of Gasman in the Ferrari. And 3rd place was the Team Lotus driver, Morcherry. Fantastic racing throughout the field. Like, share and subscribe. We can't get better than that, can we? Well, I don't know. We've got Interlagos next, round number 2, next Monday for the broadcast. The race will be happening Sunday night, as we are the Sunday Night League. Last season's brilliant racing. And it seems this new way of racing might be even tighter than before. Join us again next week for round number 2 of Formula X.